What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. Got all your Juventus news. All right, fans get nervous about Huijsen's future at Juventus as Roma might be making the move. Bayern Munich, we are linked with one of their players. They're linked with one of ours. Piero weighs in on the situation currently around Juventus. And are we looking to snap this funk by switching to a 4-3-3 against Frosinone? And of course, the ongoing saga around Max Allegri and Juventus and a potential coaching change. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. First things first, Juve continues to stockpile young talent. 15-year-old Rudy Nijstad, the left-footed Dutch center back, apparently scouting the facilities in Turin as we speak, and a deal could be done within a few hours. All right, now as far as getting to Bayern Munich, they have apparently reached out and made contacts with Adrien Rabiot's mother/agent. All right, so contacts have been made. They are looking to potentially bring in the French international. As far as Juventus goes and my thoughts, I feel we are okay to let Adrien Rabiot walk. A lot of the fan base feels that he is too important to Juventus and want to see him renew. He does have good numbers backing him over the past couple seasons, but for me, I think we could be okay if we get somebody more well-rounded in the midfield. What do you think about Rabiot? Letting him walk, letting him go. The thing is, we aren't going to know what happens until the end of March when talks fire up between the player and Juventus. All right, as far as Bayern Munich and one of their players that Juve's looking at, we got Leon Goretzka coming out here, and apparently he could be available as Bayern looking to sell the player. 40 million euro price tag for Goretzka. There are a lot of fans that say yes please. There are those that say hard pass. For me, it's a pass. For me right now, I'm just not looking Goretzka's way when I have that other list of potential targets for Juventus. So for me, it's a pass. Goretzka, yay or nay? Hit me in the comments section. Now, Roma willing to move in for Dean Huijsen. All right, 30 million euros set to be the price tag, which I don't really believe fully. But fans are getting fired up, thinking, oh my God, they know the situation around Juventus. We could be selling. We most likely will be selling, continue working at that debt. And there's a fear there that we are going to be losing Dean Huijsen. I don't actually share this fear. I think if I'm looking at young guys at Juventus, Huijsen and Yildiz are untouchable. And I think Juventus wants to keep them around at all costs. I think if Roma, which I think was always the plan for them, especially while Mourinho was there, was to bring him in and kind of schmooze him over and win him over, giving him the number 3, letting him play there. I think they've always had this plan to try and make a swoop there. But as far as Juve goes, I think if it came down to it, I did expect Huijsen to be loaned out again next year. But I think if it's a matter of losing him and him asking for a sale, I think Juve would integrate him into the first team next season, no doubt. So I have no fears about losing Huijsen. Do you guys have that fear or not? I think he's staying. I think Juve will lock in to Dean Huijsen. All right. Now, as far as another center back at Juventus, Bremer. Gleison Bremer was out last match, and that's the first time in 5 months we allowed 2 goals. Coincidence? I don't believe so. And for me, he is absolutely untouchable. The news, though, continues with Manchester United set to press for him in the summer. All right. And the extension to 2028 apparently will not protect a sale. And this could happen. For me, if I'm Juventus, Bremer's absolutely untouchable. It's been proven. It's seen in the eye test and even statistically. I would look elsewhere to raise funds. But again, if an insane number comes along, it will be very difficult for Juventus to probably say no. Some of these guys, Juve's probably going to have to act on, even if they don't want to. Let's see what happens. Calafiore continues to be linked with Juventus, 30 million euros. Apparently, the price tag, I would love to add this player. All right. Danilo, out for the game coming up against Frosinone after being injured against Verona there late in the game. He is also a risk for the Napoli match, set to be out for around 15 days. Are we switching to a 4-3-3 against Frosinone? That is what current reports suggest. Rugani and Bremer forming your center back partnership with Sandro taking up the left side. For me, this is a no-go. It's too big of a switch. This team is in a funk. I don't think now's the time to make a formation change like that. I would rather do 3-4-2-1. I would have Bremer in the heart. I would have Rugani on the left. And even through his struggles, I'd have Gatti on the right side for your center backs. In the midfield, I would work out of a two-man pivot. And I would put Yildiz and Chiesa just ahead of those two-man pivots. Or potentially even Alcaraz as one of those players. For me, 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3, however you want to look at it, I'd probably try that first before going as drastic as 4-3-3. The other reason is the midfield in a 4-3-3. We're going to ask these guys to have to cover even more space and do a little bit more. And the 3-5-2 that they all of a sudden have struggled with mightily in coverage, I don't know if I go away from that and give them even more coverage to work with. 3-4-2-1 for me. What do you think? Hit me in the comments. Now we get to Del Piero and his words around the current state of Juventus. He has this to say: players simply have to improve at Juventus. You can't be playing at Juventus for years and be the same as you were when you first got there. Not good enough. In terms of Allegri, he says he worked wonders last season through all the nonsense that went down. However, he says this season, they all have their level of responsibility. Max, the players, management, everyone. As far as making the call for Allegri out, he says, I cannot make that call because I am not involved in all the daily ins and outs of being at that club. So he says it is up to the management team to figure out of all those levels of responsibility, who is going to bear the most weight. All right, so that's Del Piero weighing in, giving accountability to absolutely everybody involved and leaving the decisions to those involved in everything, as we do not know everything that's happening behind the scenes, which Del Piero also speaks to. All right, now as far as a coaching change, well, it's widely regarded that it could be Motta or Conte. As far as me and my decision and being asked who I would take, that'll be coming out shortly. And I'll do a little short there talking about who I would choose. But I'm going to give you this and who I think it would be if Juventus makes a change. I do believe it is going to be Antonio Conte if Juventus decides that that is the route they want to take and make a coaching change. I believe it will be him. That's your daily update today, everybody. Like I said, no shortage of things to discuss, but hit me with everything you think in the comments and let's mix it up. Can't wait to hear all of your thoughts. All right, till tomorrow, as always, fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.